This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at the Lounge Theater for the world premiere of Redline. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
James Eckhouse. Aside from spending a lot of time at Home Depot, you can always find me there, but you may remember me as playing the dad, Jim Walsh, on Beverly Hills 90210 for 10 years. I just finished doing a Broadway play with Bryan Cranston called All the Way, which was pretty exciting, about Lyndon Johnson. I'm in a new web series that just came out on Warner Brothers' new platform called Stage 13. It's a really cool web series. I play a mad scientist. That's coming out, and so and now I'm doing this play called Redline here at the Lounge Theater.
Great, and which character did you play?
So I play Raymond, the father, and I start off with a 27-page monologue. So I'm up there for about 40 minutes just talking away, and it's quite something. And Raymond is a guy, there's a bit of a Willy Loman in Raymond. In fact, this play, what I love about this play is it has echoes to Salesman. I mean, I know that's being presumptuous, but it really does. Christian's work is so good. But what's great about Raymond is this man who's been handed a set of tools, in a sense, a set of tools on how to be a man and how to be a father. But they don't work. They're just not enough. And he is given this set of tools, and then he's given a set of circumstances, and he comes with a father who was abusive, which is hinted at, and it has an effect on his life, and he can't get past that. And in the worst moment in his life, he does something. It only takes 5 seconds, but he basically destroys his life in those 5 seconds, and now he's just trying to redeem himself with his son, and that's what the play's about.
I love this piece. I loved it as a son. I loved it as a father.
Yeah.
Basically, there were reflections of so much of my childhood in here, of my father disappointing me, but at the same time, of basically me trying to not repeat this with my father, of me repeating this with my son.
How many times do we look, either in the mirror or we do something and we go, oh my God, I'm just like my dad. I mean, I'm like my mom. And of course we do that, and we try so hard. In the case of Raymond, my dad was a great dad, but Raymond's dad was not such a great dad, and he really tried to not be that way. But we all can relate to that, and we can all relate to the dad stuff that we do, and the reaching across, and the silences we have with our son. I mean, how many times, in your life with your dad, with your son, you have those silences where you don't know what to say, you don't know how to communicate, and there's so much, you're filled with so much, and it just, the stupidest thing comes out. That's a lot what happens in this play too, which I think is really great.
Right. I loved your performance. I thought you were mesmerizing. Just you talking for basically 20 minutes, I was just on the edge of my seat. I was being redlined with your emotions. I was being taken on a trip. I love the scenery. I love the Sierra Nevada and all the and the description you had of the lakes and all that.
Well, it does help to have gone up to Lake Tahoe many times and taken vacations there and had that drive with my kids in the car. Interestingly enough, one of the first trips we took, I had just had Beverly Hills 90210 had just started. Well, not just started, but it was like 9 months into it, and we weren't getting an audience. Believe it or not, we were not getting an audience. We started doing these double-ups where we were doing we did summer shows. That was it. We did summer shows, and nobody else was doing new episodes during the summer, right? And I didn't realize what was happening. So I'm driving up through the 395, which is in this play, and I'm at Bishop, and I've got my kids, and we're just grazing the kids, as we call it, a little stop, and I'm in my white, dumb, suburban van, and all of a sudden, I notice that somebody sort of looks at me for a second, then he goes off, and 10 minutes later, my wife comes with the other child, and she says, get in the car. And I go, what? She says, get in the car now. And I grab my little son out of the swing, and we start, we run towards the car, and I look back, and there's 65 kids coming at me. And, I'd never had anything like that happen before, and I just turned to my wife and I said, we're not in Kansas anymore. And that was the sort of change of the show starting to have its legs, So, funny story. But
when I listened to this show, the most important piece I got out of it was when you said just have to show up.
Yeah.
I was thinking, man, is it that simple? But then I was thinking, that's it. That's what's missing. It's like, even if you're a bad father, at least come home.
Yeah.
At least tell your son, okay, I messed up.
Yeah.
Give me another chance. Okay, I messed up again. I know I don't deserve another. Even if you can't teach him basketball, okay, I'm going to show you how to do basketball. And you totally suck at it. At least be there.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth? Just showing up. I mean, that's 9/10 of it is showing up. We all have to show up, even if we don't know what we're going to say next. Just show up. Yeah.
Once again, love the piece. I loved you in it. You're just mesmerizing. And I also love the story. Love the playwright. I love the casting. This, as a father, as a father and as a son, I just was so touched by this piece. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you once again for being on the show.
Thank you, and thank you for having me on it. All right, take care.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Christian Durso.
Great. What did you do tonight?
I was the playwright of Redline at the Lounge Theater in Santa Monica Boulevard with the I Am a Theater Company.
Great. I actually, well, first of all, I'm a son, and I have a child of my own.
Yes.
So again, it's a bit of a father-son thing.
Yes.
I just love this piece. It was fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, question: why did you decide to write this piece?
I don't know. It sort of just came out when I was supposed to be writing something else, and it was a play that started coming to me. I wasn't even sure it was a play. It was a confession. This character just kept talking to me, and I just kept following it through. And I got about halfway through, and I wasn't even sure if it was a real play. And then I had some friends come around it, and we sort of made it happen into a good reading, which made us believe we could do a full production of it. And yes, I have a father. I am not a father yet in my life, but I will be maybe one day. And I just had this very strong relationship, and there's male emotions that I believe are important, and we undervalue as a society quite often, and I think it causes a lot of harm as it does in this play.
If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should expect a very intimate theater-going experience. Much of it is one person talking to the audience for the majority of it, and they should also expect a very intense but fun and I think energetic ride into this world of this house off of 395 that has a very difficult relationship of a father and a son.
Someone once told me something. You are not your successes. You are actually your failures. Because you give $1 million to one guy, you give $100,000 to another guy, they're both going to be about the same thing. They'll be happy and they'll spend their money. Mm-hmm. But then suddenly, if you go through tragedy, that really tells a person what he's made out of.
I think that's true. As happens in this play, it's just 5 seconds of his life where he goes off the rails, and it happens to be at the worst possible moment, and it changes his life forever.
It actually touched me in several ways too, because it's kind of like, marriage nowadays is like 50% divorces. It's really hard to stay together, but then again, you really don't appreciate family, and also you don't appreciate your father that much. You have no model of how to be a man.
I would say that's true. I think that we need to do a better job of teaching our young sons how to be men. I mean, we're seeing it today and around the world. There are people who are never really taught or decent values or how to treat a woman, perhaps, and we end up with a big problem when half of society has a great difficult and problems, and a lot of that is just communication and talking to your dad, talking to your son. And that's something that I think runs through the American theater from much better playwrights than I, but up till today.
I remember a character in the back of my mind, a teacher of mine, who he was obsessed with rites of passage. I mean, when does a boy become a man? Is it when he gets his apartment? Is it when he gets a job? Is it the first time he has sex? Right. What is it? I mean, if you were in Uganda, they had specifically, you had to kill a lion or something like that. Or if you were in Haiti, you had to climb up a pole or something. In the United States, you don't have that. We don't know what it is. It's kind of a chaos. It's by accident, nothing designed. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit of a mess. You know what I mean?
No, I do. I think you're hitting on something that we don't have anymore today, which is rituals. We used to have them, and they specifically marked a point in your life when you became something like that. We do hold on to, certainly like in the Jewish faith, is the bar mitzvah. You know, marking it through a ritual. These are the things you must go through to become, quote unquote, a man. But we've done away with these rituals that used to sort of guide us, lead as guideposts, that were sort of put on by the elders of a community to usher people through life and say, here's now this is the next stage of your life. Now there is sort of a nebulous, when do I become one? Some people say it's when your father dies. Some people when you kill your father, in whatever sense kill actually means, or maybe it could be a number of different things. I don't personally think it's when you have sex, but it could be a number of different things, like when you begin taking ownership for your own life. But we don't have that marked ritual of saying, okay, now you've crossed the threshold into manhood. So we don't have that anymore.
Well, this piece again, I thought it was first of all, it was exciting. It was adrenaline building. Redline itself describes what it is. Yep. I also love the acting. The actors that were chosen were fantastic.
Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah, I was riveted on my seat. Plus, also, it just struck a chord in me about my father and about my son. So for that, I have to thank you very much for it.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you very much for coming.
All right, thank you once again for being on the show.
Thank you very much. Redline at I Am a Theater Company.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Eli Gonda. I directed Redline.
So, question: why did you decide to do this piece?
Well, I went to a reading of it 2 years ago, and after about 4 days later, my wife and I both turned to each other, and we're still talking about the show and about this beautiful script. And I'd never been. It had been a long time since I'd been as moved and as haunted and as inspired by a script and by a story as I was this. And so then I stalked the writer and said, I just need to direct this because there's something very special about what you've done, and I want to be a part of it. So thankfully he said yes.
So my viewers decide to come by and see this piece. What should they expect to see?
They should expect to see, or they'll hopefully see a father-son story or a parent and child story that that inspires them to be the best version of themselves that they're capable of being, and to love harder and to feel stronger, and to show up at the end of the day and be there for each other. And you know, it's a powerful story that I hope at the end of the day inspires people to be there for each other.
I love the casting. I thought that was mesmerizing. Wonderful job.
Thank you.
What do you look for in your casting?
Actors that invigorate you. You know, whether you're a director, like in rehearsal, or an audience member in the theater, you want actors on stage that leave you with more energy than you walked in with. And that's these two, Graham and James, absolutely do that. And Drew Roush, who's also a part of the company, they're all these are phenomenal actors that bring such life, such vitality, and care about their story and about the audience and about sharing it with the audience. It's also like actors that have tremendous empathy. It's important to work with people that have empathy and sincerity, and that is Graham and James. Like, they are incredible. And Christian, the writer.
The actors themselves added so much to it. Basically, if another group of actors actually did this thing, I might not have liked it as much. I mean, the story about father and son,
well, that's everything. Everything's. I mean, it's funny. My godfather was a director, and when I first told him I wanted to direct, he said, "Well, 70% of directing is casting. I mean, it's about knowing who's right for the role, and knowing who's going to collaborate and go on this journey with you. I mean, this has been a remarkable journey that these two actors have gone on, like in terms of discovering all the things that they have in this role and this story. And you're right, it absolutely could not have been done with two other actors. And I hope that this shows them, as well as every audience member that walks in and anybody that ever sees or reads this play again, like what these two men are capable of, because they are extraordinary and they are an event. And that's what theater should be, right?
Correct. In fact, if you listen to my show, the questions I always ask the director are two. One, I always ask about the story, and two, I always ask about casting, because that's like 90% of the show.
Yeah.
The actors are fantastic, like I mentioned before. The story was moving. It struck everybody, because every man, because either you're a father or you're a son, right? Mm-hmm. You can't be neither, right?
Yeah.
And basically, it's also the problems that we have in our society about fathers and sons, about divorce, about broken families. It's just so incredibly poignant right now. I just love this piece.
I'm so glad. Thank you so much. Like, I'm so glad, and I hope. Thank you for coming. I hope your listeners will come, and it's a really powerful piece, and it's really special. Christian, this theater, Christian Durso, the writer, is a true. I mean, when I first heard it, I'm like, to me, it felt like a cross between Tennessee Williams and Sam Shepard, and when I heard that and read that, I was like, this is somebody I want to create with, and I want to go on a journey with, and I'm just very grateful that you enjoyed it, and hope your listeners do too.
Once again, I love the piece. I loved all the acting and the directing in it. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming, and see you at the Lounge Theater.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
My name is Graham Sibley. I'm a founding member of I Am a Theater Company. I've been working in LA theater for almost 20 years, and the character that I played is Jamie in Redline. He's a hurt guy that is looking for. He's looking to learn how to forgive.
My take on the story is it's about a father and a son.
Yes, it's about a father and a son. It's about forgiveness. It's about redemption. It's about manhood. The play is about it's about the mistakes that we make, and as parents and as people, and how that ripples through generations. We've had such an amazing experience developing this play over the last 2 years, and we're so excited to share it here in LA first. And the process has been amazing. The conversations that we've had have been about manhood and fatherhood and forgiveness and what it means to make a mistake and how to grow through that. And I think the biggest thing that I've taken from this play is when men don't talk about how they feel, and when there is a void of feminine in a person, this is what happens. It becomes a polarizing experience as a human being, and that when two polarizing things come together, it creates conflict, and conflict is angry and hurtful and all of those things that we as a society don't want to be a part of. I think that today, we look at some of our leaders and this angry, volatile way of communicating only perpetuates this pain, and I think this is what this play is about. This play is about men trying to figure out how to communicate.
Again, I'm a son, and my relationship with my father wasn't that great. I'm a father. I'm always frustrated by my relationship with my son. I heard something in this play that just struck a chord to me. It's just show up. It's kind of like, okay, you mess up, but at least mess up here. It's okay, but you mess up, but at least come home. It's okay. Just don't run away. Don't. It's okay to be broken. It's okay to be imperfect. But as long as you're here, that's all that matters.
Yep, that's right. That's right. Just show up. I mean, I think Christian has really cracked the code to, my dad said something, he said, you're going to mess up your kids. It's just, if they can justify that you made the best decision in messing them up, then it's okay. And I think that makes sense. I think as we grow up, we understand that we make mistakes. But if you're neglectful, then you're going to have resentment and anger that builds inside your children. But if the children can look at the decisions that they made and say, you know what, my parents tried, and this is what they needed to do in the moment. And I think, it's hard. That's really a hard question to ask, because you continue to hold resentment. I continue to hold resentment too, I really hope people come and see this play. I think the conversations that we've had so far afterwards have just been unbelievable about manhood and forgiveness and fatherhood, and I've had 45-minute conversations about their experience, you know, and the mistakes that I think if you can look at this play and get one thing from it, it's that it's okay. Just show up and love your kid and do the best they can and ask them how they feel. You know what I mean?
Even if you can't say you love them, that may not be your nature. Just be there. Just come home every day. Just watch them mess up in front of them, but always come back and show them. I really love this. I loved it as a son, and I love this as a father. This was a fantastic piece.
Well, I really appreciate you coming and doing this press for us. This is incredible.
Thank you once again for being on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Redline will be playing at the Lounge Theater from October 21st to November 19th. For more information, go to www.iamatheater.com.